Okay, so Eric Faulkner has a new song. It's called In the Fall. It was first played last night on TD1 Radio on dedication. Fans remember the Bay City Rollers. And is now available on faulknersongs.net. And I will put a link to that, and you can go there. And if you want to help Eric in recording more music, you can always donate via the tip jar while you're there. So this is kind of a review of that song, mostly from a musical perspective, not the lyrics. You can read the lyrics when you go to the website. I think the lyrics are great. I think it tells a nice story, and I'm sure everyone will enjoy it. But I'm going to focus on the music because I really enjoy how he has written this song, and in particular, it's generally the chord progression that I'm going to talk about and why it's so effective. And I will show you the chord progression, and we will talk about it from like a little bit of like a music theory point of view. And I'm going to play. I'm going to let you hear the first three parts of, I think there's 5 or 6 parts of the song. For the rest of it, you can go to his website, but I think it makes sense that we play a portion of the song before we get into kind of analyzing it, right? So here it is, a portion of, at least, In the Fall by Eric Faulkner.
I was having a break from the city life in New England's colors in the fall. Saw you walking there, you turned your head. Didn't mean to stare, I couldn't help myself. There was something in your presence I could not deny. As the sun was shining down on New England's colors in the fall, there was a stillness in the air, stillness by your side. I was thinking how I could break the ice. Didn't want to be like some other guy. Smiled at you, you smiled at me. Asked your name, could I walk with you? Talking there, the words came so easily. As the sun was shining down on New England's colors in the fall, the colors could not compete with the crystal in your eyes. There came a day when we took our vows. You were dressed in white, I even cut my hair. Took my ring, said I do. I took your ring, forever true. Made a promise there to be faithful for all time. As the sun was shining down on New England's colors in the fall, if it's the last words I ever say, I will say them to you.
Okay, so let's get into the song a little bit. Now, I said the review wasn't about the lyrics, and that let's step back from that and actually say you can see the lyrics on the website. I suggest reading the lyrics while listening to the song. Maybe not the first time, but at some point in time. And the reason I say that is that I find when I'm listening to the song, it's a very meditative song. Like, my mind just kind of starts to wander. And I used to like, back in the days of LPs, that when you got a lyric sheet and you could sit and read through the lyrics, because it wasn't small like on a CD. Like, I've seen lyrics on CDs, it's pointless, you know. trying to read them. Sometimes that's true also on albums if it's really small print. But I really enjoyed that, and I suggest at least once or twice listening to the song on faulknersongs.net and watching and reading the lyrics as you're going through. It's very nice. Okay, so the lyrics are great from a meaning perspective, but the other thing is being able to flow through and write that kind of poetry while you're writing a song is an acquired skill. It's a rare skill. Someone else that I really like, and I did a video on his band recently, who is very poetic, and I envy his ability to write, lyrics, is Mark Burgess from the Chameleons. But I think on this one here, and also on Tideline, and also on a lot of other more recent Eric Faulkner songs, he shows that gift for being able to write poetry with his songs. And as a matter of fact, aside from the musical challenge of harmony, for popular music, it's probably the most difficult thing to do. And Eric has reached the point where you can tell in this song where it's completely natural. And this is the strength of the singer-songwriter versus the... someone's coming to my door. 1 second. Yeah, so my neighbor came to the door looking to sell an electric scooter. Okay, yeah, so the difference between the singer-songwriter is a special kind of role. It's a direction that someone chooses. The interesting thing about Eric is that he's an accomplished musician as well as a singer-songwriter. And the singer-songwriter has to be able to perform what they write. And, it's challenging also to perform complicated lyrics like this while you're playing. So it's a special skill that someone develops over time. But Eric has always had this ability to write, but I just think it gets better and better with time, right? And I think the singer-songwriter folk music kind of thing really helps to develop that. I mentioned in ID May how that is when I did tried to do a cover of that, how difficult that is, and how every part of your brain has to be firing at the same time to do that kind of performance, right? And so with this song, we see some of that more complicated lyrics and poetry going on with the song. Okay, so that's that part. The other thing I just wanted to break down the chord progression of the song to kind of explain why it works and what the form of it is. Okay, so the song is in the key of C, and it revolves around the C, the F major, the G major, and there's the dramatic part goes down, I do believe, to the A minor. How he gets there, I'm not sure. I use a C, E minor, A minor, but we'll get to that when we get to it, and he may be doing it differently. Okay. So I'm not going to, from this point forward, name the chords by their alphabetic name. I'm going to name them by their numeric name for the key, okay? So if you're playing in the key of C, the C chord is the 1 chord. D would be the 2 chord. We're not using that. But F is 4, G is 5, and A is 6. A minor, right? So the 6th chord is a minor chord, typically in a major key. The reason I'm doing that is that I kind of want to explain why this song works and a few of the things that he does in the song to really make it work, okay? So, let's introduce some basic music theory here, okay? So the 4 chord in C, the F, kind of wants to go to the 1 chord, the C, okay? The 5 chord really wants to go to the 1 chord, right? So G really wants to go to C. And you'll see that continuously the G is going to C. The other thing I want to introduce is the concept of a cadence. So a cadence is kind of like a type of punctuation, either a comma or a period, right? So you can think of the 4-to-1 cadence as being kind of like a comma, and you can think of the 5-to-1 cadence being a period, but it depends how you play it. And this song is a perfect example of that. So anyway, let's get into how the song starts out. And so we've already gotten to that point where we're going back and forth. And so that back and forth is between the 1 and 4 or the C and F chords, okay? And then at the end of doing that, he ends back on C and he does that little... making this a little bit of a cadence here. And then he starts up again. And he holds on that 6. So I know there's a lot going on there. There's a lot of quick transitions in the chords, but the main thing that I want to be able to say here is that when he comes off of that 4-1 cadence, he's going to run quickly through the 4-5-1 and then down to the 6. And that's the real spice of the song right there, that you've hit the 6 and you have to get back to the 1, and you're going to do it now in a very straightforward, dramatic way, which is to hit the 4, 5, and after all the cadences, so that was a big 5-1 cadence there. He does that little, each time he does the cadence. So the 1 cadence, you could kind of miss it, but the reason I kind of, like the 4-to-1 cadence, the reason I kind of picked up on it was he was doing that after that. So he was signaling, but that signal that he was doing there was not a period, it was a comma. This is partway through. There's still more to the story here, and that goes to the 4-5-1 down to 6, and then a very long 4, long 5, and then 1, and that is the period. Okay, and so this is the shape that he uses, and what he does is he does this, I think, 5 or 6 times through the song. And I think it's very nice because it's a very, it's not your typical pop song where you have verse, verse, chorus, chorus, right? It's a different style of songwriting, and it allows him to write more complex lyrics, and without having to worry about changing from verse to chorus constantly, right? Now, I'm not saying there's not a chorus here. I think the chorus comes at the end of each of these sections, right? The chorus kind of comes with the well, you could divide it up certain ways, but the important part is that that A minor has to be in there, right? I think that's a huge part of the chorus. But the fact is, like I'm saying, this song doesn't fit into that whole concept of a pop song and verse and chorus really neatly. This is, they used to have these concept of like tone poems and stuff like this, and you can go back to Schubert and get back into. Oh my goodness, I don't know what the heck is going on my phone. But you can go back to Schubert. Like, there's always been so many different ways to write songs. The modern pop song is only one way. But my point is, the way he has written this song makes sense for what he's doing, and it allows him to do things that in a standard pop song, you're not going to be able to do. So he does a great job with it. He uses the cadences really well. One cadence is a comma, another one is a period. And the best part of the song is when he gets down to that sixth chord, adds that drama, and then has the huge 4-5-1 after that. That's the hook every single time at the end of all of these, and it's very emotional. It's a song about love and attachment and dedication and trials and tribulations and all that sort of stuff, and so you need that drama in there. All very nice. I can't even talk about the lyrics and melody in this as well, because that's a whole other path to go down. But as I understand it, Eric wrote this song in an afternoon and recorded it that same afternoon. And so, but the point in that is that when you're a singer-songwriter, that type of thing, you're kind of humming out and coming up with these melodies while you have the chords. Like I can kind of sense that's how he was doing it, but I can't guarantee. Like, there's two types of songwriting for this kind of thing. There's melodic songwriting, where you're coming up with a melody first and then you're filling in with chords, and then there is the rhythmic, where you write your like chord progressions and put melodies over it. I get the sense that he wrote this chord progression, was humming along, and came up with melody, and then wrote the lyrics. But he can that's who knows. Who knows? I can't say. I wasn't there. But anyway, I think it's a great song. It really shows, with the poetry, smart songwriting, and like from a chord progression perspective, and then those little signals of the wee bit of individual notes that he throws in there to signal different things in the song. So I really like it. But like I was saying, I think it's worth it to go to his website and listen to the song while reading the lyrics, and it'll be more enjoyable for you. So anyway, I hope everyone likes his new song. I hope that I did justice to it with this video. It's time for me to watch the hockey game. Have a good night, everyone.